Hello guys, RevitWiz here. Today I'm just gonna show you how to create your own Shapecode 83, which is a stool for the South African standard, as Revit does not give a preset stool for the South African standard. So if you're interested, stay tuned. Okay guys, so let's just open a structural template, the preset one that you get when you download Revit. So we'll just say new and then select the structural template and say OK. So now you'll notice before we can place any reinforcing, we just want to do a structural floor here so we can place the rebar within that structural floor. So I've just done that. This is just the span symbol, so we can just ignore this. I'm just going to hide it. You right click, hide and view elements, just the quick way. Now we want to go and place rebar within this, but we want to focus on a stool. So you get a stool in the UK standard that's already preset in the rebar downloads area. So you'll see here, if I scroll down, the Shapecode 98 is the stool. But in the South African standard, unfortunately, they have not inserted or created a stool for the South African standard. Okay, so we want to do that. So before we do that, we want to place this one and just go and edit this one to the standard or the Shapecode 83 that we want. Okay, so you click on it. We can now select where we want to place this. I want to place it near face and parallel to cover. So if we zoom in a bit, it's going to obviously snap to the edges where your cover is. So just press space bar so that you can see. Just zoom in here. We want to see the leg. There's a leg there on the left, and we want to see a leg on the right. Okay, then just let it snap again. There we go, and place it. Okay, so now we have one of them. So I'm just going to pull it inwards like this so it's closer. Okay, just press space again. For some other reason it did not snap the way it should have, but now we have this stool. So if you go to the 3D, just want to put this to fine. So now you can see our stool has been placed here. Okay, but we want to go and change this shape here, the 98 to an 83. So we click on the reinforcing, we say edit family, and now we are within the Shapecode 98 family. Now we're just going to say file, save as, family, and I'm going to save this under the South African standard where all my other shape codes are. So just find that folder with where you've saved it on or downloaded it, and just go and save this under that area. So I'm going to call it 83 and say save. I'm just going to leave everything as is within the settings, and I'm just going to load it into the project. Okay, so it doesn't seem like much has happened, but if you click on this, you will see there's a Shapecode 98 and there's a Shapecode 83, which is exactly the same thing. The only reason why I did this is because if you go to the rebar schedule, you will see the shape is shown as an 83, which is the South African standard shapecode for a stool. So this will then display correctly for the South African standard. Okay, now if you are South African, you just want your reinforcing and your shapecodes within this project. If you want to remove the UK standard, you can just go to structural rebar and then rebar bar. We can go and delete them all. So you click on the top, click on the bottom while holding in shift in your keyboard, and right click and say delete, and just say OK. You'll notice it has removed our shapecode because the bar was specified for that specific shapecode, but just ignore it for the moment. Then the rebar shape, we're going to delete all of them, because we don't want them. Okay, now all we do is just go back to our layout here where the slab is. We go insert, load family. Once again, go and find the area where your rebar has been downloaded for the South African standard. I click on the top one, scroll down, click on the bottom one while holding shift on your keyboard and say open. Now it's loading in all the South African rebar standards and sizes. Okay, so if I click on this rebar here, you'll, sorry, not rebar, the slab, and I say rebar and just say okay, you'll see the South African rebar shape codes are now inserted here. You can see there we are. Shape code 83 is the one that we've created. Okay, and then you'll also notice we have the Y bars now and the R bars, which is also South African standard. So let's just place a Y10 or rather a R10 stool like we did earlier, but with the South African standard. So you just place it there. Once again, I'll just move this inwards and I'll just press spacebar. So there we have our stool. Then if we go to 3D, if you want to edit this to your liking and the sizes of the legs that you require, we're going to focus on A first. So you can either change it here or here by the dimensions. I like to change it here just to keep track. I'm going to change that to 300. That's the top. There you can see it changed. So the B will be calculated by the means of the slab depth minus the cover at the top and the bottom. So let's just go and check what the slab depth is. Oh, the cover of the slab is, it's currently 15. Let's just change them all to 30 mils. There we go. So this is supposed to be 240 mils, because if you take 300 mils thick slab minus 30 top and 30 bottom, you get 240. Then if you want to change the C and the D, you can currently see it's grayed out here. So you just go here to the top where it says override hook lengths and you click on it. Then you can override those lengths. So I'm just going to make them 300. The reason I make them 300 is because the bar spacing of your reinforcing is usually at 200 millimeters. Okay, so now that we've done that, we can just go and check in our schedule. Once again, there's our shape code with the R shape. So I have another video on my channel where you can actually see how I've made a bending schedule from scratch to be within the South African standard. Okay, so let's just go back to the 3D. Now I just want to show you, if you click on this, you'll see currently there's only one of them because we chose single, or it was pre-selected. So we actually want a fixed number because stools are usually at one per square meter. So we're gonna just find out the slab area. That's currently 360 squares, which means we want 360 of them. Okay, but now you'll notice it doesn't display 1 per square meter like you actually would want it to indicate. So just a bit of a workaround. So if you go to level 1, rather the level 2, you will see that it looks very odd, but just say here show middle rebar in rebar set and it will only show one of them. Then you can just go and tag this and it will say that there are 360 of them. You can also check out a video that I made on rebar tags that will help you quite a lot. So that is how you fix the layout. If you want to fix the 3D, you can't actually do the same, but what you can do is you take that arrow and you pull it inwards, and you take maybe the outer arrow. Just make sure you choose the correct arrows and you pull it inwards. So now it looks all bundled, but let's just pull it so it looks like just like one of them, something like that. Okay, so now it looks like one, but for illustration purposes, this looks very neat compared to all of those stacked in a row. So yeah guys, that is how you create your own stool for South African standard, and how you work around this to display your shapecode 83 correctly. So once again guys, thank you for watching the video, and I do appreciate all your support. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe so that you can get all the latest videos that I upload so you don't miss anything. And thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers guys.